In the past 24 hours, clashes and large-scale attacks by the Russian military across various fronts in Ukraine have surged, with a total of 163 clashes recorded. Russian forces have launched multiple attacks on Ukraine's strategic defensive positions. However, the Ukrainian defense has successfully repelled many dangerous assaults, especially in key areas. The Russian military has attempted to break through in the Vovchansk area, a strategic hotspot in the Kharkiv region. Additionally, Russia has conducted missile strikes on civilian areas, causing significant damage to infrastructure and civilian casualties. Kharkiv remains within Russia's crosshairs as the invading forces continue to utilize both air and ground assets to launch attacks. Ukrainian defense forces successfully thwarted 7 attacks by Russian troops in the Sinkivka, Stepova, Novoselivka, Kruglyakivka, Kotlyarivka, Stelmakivka, and Lozova areas. Russia aims to penetrate these critical areas to disrupt Ukraine's defense systems, but the defensive units have maintained their strategic positions. The Lyman front has witnessed the most intense assaults from Russian forces, with 28 attacks occurring around the Druzhelyubivka, Chernyshina, Grekivka, Nevsky, Torsky, Tern, Makiyivka, Novosadovo, and Bilogorivka areas. These relentless attacks indicate that Russia is concentrating its efforts on the Lyman direction to expand its control in the eastern region. In the northern front, Ukrainian forces successfully repelled an attack near Vimka. Meanwhile, in Kramatorsk, the Russian military conducted 11 attacks on the Kalanivka, Maysky, Andriivka, and Bilahora areas, but were stopped by Ukrainian defense forces. Kramatorsk is a strategically valuable area, and Ukraine's success in repelling attacks here is a positive sign. In the Toretsk direction, with air support, Russia launched 12 attacks near Nelipivka, Toretsk, and Sherbinivka, but Ukrainian defensive forces were quick to counter. In the Pokrovsky direction, Russian troops executed 28 attack actions targeting Vozhvidzenka, Novotoretsk, Krasny Yar, Novogradivka, Selidov, Marinivka, and Mikhailivka. However, all of Russia's efforts were thwarted by the resilience of Ukrainian defenders. The Kharkiv direction continues to be a hotspot as Russian forces attempted to breach Ukraine's defenses with 25 attacks on the Georgiivka, Tsukurini, Hernik, Kostyantinivka, Katarinivka, and Jelano-Drogo areas. Defensive forces held their ground, repelling assaults and ensuring the safety of these critical areas. On the Vremivka front, Russian troops conducted 9 attacks on Ukrainian defensive positions at Vugledar, Katarinivka, Vodyany, and Pavlivka, but did not achieve their objectives. Similarly, on the Orikhiv front, Russian forces made 4 attempts to assault Ukrainian positions at Robotyny, Novoandriivka, and Novodanilivka, all of which were repelled. Overall, the Russians shelled densely populated areas in the Donetsk region 14 times during the day. Russian attacks resulted in the deaths of 3 civilians in Donetsk, 2 in Myrnograd, and 1 in Novokranets. 10 other individuals in the region were injured throughout the day. From the developments in the past 24 hours, it is clear that Russian forces are escalating their attack intensity across multiple fronts, particularly in strategic areas such as Kharkiv, Lyman, Toretsk, and Pokrovsky. Notably, Ukrainian infantry has engaged in attacks with minimal casualties, highlighting the close coordination among Ukraine's regular units. Russian casualties and weapon losses in the conflict with Ukraine are increasing, indicating that the war has incurred substantial losses in personnel and equipment for both sides.